Greetings to you. Welcome to my new episode. I am so glad to have you aboard. Guys, this video comes after an initial episode in which I was addressing my journey as a self-taught software developer. So in that video, I was giving a narrative about my experience in software development. Considering I'm not professionally trained, I am self-taught software developer. I really didn't expect so much response, but hey, it turns out this content has audience. So I decided to address the responses and inquiries that I had received from the previous video. So after releasing my initial video, I actually received calls from people saying I want to start my journey in software development or I need mentorship. So I decided to release a video based on that because I consider the initial stages to be very crucial. They determine your quality of work and they determine how fast you can move in this field. In this video, I share lessons that I have learned throughout my journey because my wish is that unlike me, you get to have an easier time doing this. This video is coming a little late, but all the same, guys, let's get into it. Now, I consider this subject pretty serious, so I have this well thought of slides for you. I have these beginner's best practices that I'll be sharing with you guys. Now, almost for all of us, when we begin to venture into the code of art, we get it wrong from the onset. And this is because we begin by doing our research using the front-end languages, the markup languages. And the risk in starting your research with the markup languages is that there is so much information on the internet about markup languages. And of course, there is likelihood that you will not be able to exhaust all that information. The problem is that you begin to revolve around the same information and you end up not doing much within a long period of time. Another risk with doing your research starting your research from the front-end languages is that markup languages evolve so fast and you don't get time to stabilize in your skill. My advice is that when you begin training, you start with backend languages, and I recommend C and Java. Backend languages prepare your mind for mathematical concepts. Basically, what you do as a software developer is come up with world solutions through mathematical concepts, and Java object-oriented programming literally gets you started. Once you're good with your Java syntax or PHP syntax, chances are that you'll be getting yourself on your first project real quick. And that's because the engine of the system is more important than the markup language. I tell my colleagues that normally you learn the markup language on the project, so there is no need investing so much time studying your markup language. Backend languages are not so easy to learn, and it is through this rigorous process that you learn your debugging skills. And debugging skills are so important for enterprise development. Debugging skills mark the difference between the bronze developer and the beginner. So guys, best practice number 1 should convert your 1-year training period into a 3-month entertaining training process. On to best practice number 2. Once you have properly mastered your backend syntax, you want to take a step of courage and do a project of your choice. I recommend an MVC project. If you are new to MVC, MVC stands for Model, View, and Controller. In an MVC project, all the components of a system are merged together. This will sort of give you a view of how a system works or how you can start your own. You can get sample MVC projects from YouTube tutorials or from blogs on the internet. Well, now, with a complete system in your portfolio, you have the confidence to join a team, and that's because you have full knowledge of how to put together a complete working system. Best practice number 2 is the fastest way to get you on board. Thank you for joining our culture of developers. Now that we finally have you on board, your career begins immediately. You want to pick up a project from your supervisor. This makes you disciplined and time conscious. Since we do not pick the nature and functionality of our real-world projects, this is what gets us to task, doing our research and getting our skills right. As we try to translate real-world happenings into code, that is when we better understand algorithms. Finally, enterprise development exposes us to modern technology, thus making us employable. So guys, this brings us to an end of the best practice component, and now I wish to address the inquiry on algorithms. Alongside with mentorship, I also received a call to better understand algorithms. Now, to better understand algorithms is to see them as real-world operations expressed as code functions. In the function above, I have two variables, milk and tea leaves, and I'm trying to achieve the operation make tea. So I have a function make tea, which I'm passing the two variables, milk and tea leaves. Within the function, I'm trying to achieve a variable tea, which is equal to milk plus tea leaves, and I return tea. That is how to connect real-world operations and algorithm functions. If you are new to algorithms, this is the best approach to take. First, describe the function as it will happen in a real-world operation. Next, you want to structure your data into tables. Like in the tea example, you'd have a table called tea and you'd have two columns for milk and for tea. Next, you want to develop SQL queries. Like in the tea example, you'll develop an insert query that will insert the liters of milk used alongside with the kilogram of tea leaves used. Finally, you will want to create a function that manipulates data from your table. For example, you will create a function that will select a specific value from the milk row and tea leaves row and adds them together to finally achieve the operation of making tea. The achieved value is what is displayed to the user as a markup language. So guys, the tutorial was pretty long, but I hope it was informative and enjoyable. Thank you so much. See you next time.